Again, a lot of activity here in our nation's capital. And as I said, immigration is going to be a focus this week as Republicans kind of carve a path forward. But even as literally millions of illegal immigrants have poured across our southern border during the Biden administration is targeting a family of Christian homeschool refugees that have been in this country for 15 years. 15 years ago, Uva and Hannah Romeike fled their native Germany with their children for the United States. Now, they sought asylum after German authorities fined them for homeschooling their children because the Romeike family wanted to keep their children away from the anti-Christian indoctrination in the German schools. Initially, they were granted asylum, and the family then saw that verdict overturned in 2012. The Obama administration then placed the family in deferred action status, leaving them in legal limbo for 10 years, until earlier this month, when U.S. Customs and Immigration notified the Romeikes that they had 4 weeks to leave the country. Joining me now to discuss this is Uva and Hannah Romeike and their family attorney, Kevin Boden, who is the director of HSLDA International. Kevin, welcome to Washington Watch. Uva, Hannah, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Before we get too deep into the current legal situation, tell us about your initial decision to seek asylum here in the United States.
Yes, we came here in 2008 because in Germany we were persecuted with high fines and threatened with jail time and loss of custody of our children. The police took our children to school, and it was just not any bearable situation for us to stay there. And then we came here to seek freedom, to apply for asylum with the help of HSLDA, Homeschool Legal Defense Association. And as you said, we were first granted asylum in 2010.
So what have you been doing for the last 15 years?
Well, we were able to settle here and get involved in the community and church. I'm working as a piano accompanist at a local Christian university and as a church pianist, and I have a private piano studio. And my oldest children who finished school, they have their jobs, and my oldest son is a pilot and an airplane mechanic. So we are all basically living our lives as everyone else around us, living a normal life. We feel like being American now, and now we are forced to leave the country.
You're living productive, law-abiding lives, adding to the American family.
That's what we always try and strive to do, and yeah.
Kevin, I want to go to you for a moment to get kind of the status here on the legal. It was interesting. About a year ago, I had lunch with an official, I'm not going to name him, from Germany, who's here in this country with their government. And I brought this case up, not by name, but the homeschool and how they persecute homeschoolers. And the reaction was very telling, that there is no space for families who want to homeschool in Germany. So the record is established quite clear that for the Romeikes to go back, it's going to be very difficult. So how did this unfold? How come we're 4 weeks and they have to get out of the country?
Well, the reality, we don't know exactly why or how it unfolded. What we do know is that they came in for their routine ICE check, which has been fairly normal for them over the last 10 years. And instead of being told to come back for another routine check, they were told to come back in for a week and bring your passports and to look to start the process of self-deportation. So where this came from, why it's coming now, we simply don't know. But, as you talked to, this is a family that essentially faced religious persecution in Germany for homeschooling, came here to a country where, refugees from those who are seeking religious expression and the ability to worship, has been the history and foundation of this country. And so why or when, we don't know, but here we are doing what we can to help them as best we can.
So how do you see this unfolding? I mean, are the Romeikes going to be forced to leave the country? I mean, are they literally going to come pick them up and take them out?
They could. ICE could take them into custody, and they could effectually, involuntarily force their removal from the country. And the idea of self-deportation, and maybe it appears from ICE's standpoint that they want them to just leave voluntarily. But as you've heard Uwe talk to you just now, this is their home. This is their life. This is what their kids know. And here we are.
Uwe, how can our viewers and listeners be helpful?
Well, first of all, we thank everyone who is praying for our family, for God to intervene. And also HSLDA put up a website with a link to a petition where you can help us with a petition to President Biden. You can see the link on the screen, hslda.org/Romeike. That's ROMEAEIKE.
All right. We will certainly be praying. And there's also a bill in Congress. We've been in contact with Congresswoman Harshbarger, who is also working on your behalf. And so we're going to see if we can't get more members of Congress engaged in this. Uwe, Hannah, Kevin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.